great to be back with you for another edition of Breeding to Win. It's also my pleasure to welcome Grant Knowles into the studio this evening. Grant, lovely to have you back in Gauteng briefly for a while.
Yeah, it's going to be nice to be back, and nice that the weather's playing ball so far. That the postponed Guineas meeting can take place. It was a nice fly up on Saturday morning and straight back to Cape Town. That was enjoyable. But at least we've got racing underway here shortly, and yeah, nice to be part of it again.
And lovely Cape Town weather that you've been enjoying. Also, lovely season that you guys have had so far.
Yeah, it's been great, and mixed speculations on the Met. I thought it was a great Sun Met this year. I thought it was much improved on the previous year. I thought the vibe was great. Certainly enjoyed the result, being a winner by Captain L. And lovely for those owners as well. So yeah, it was great, and last week's show caught up with all the owners and with Vaughan and the jockey, and couldn't have happened to a nicer jockey than MJ Baileyfeld. He really deserves. He puts in all the hard work, and it was great that he got his Group 1 success.
And it hasn't ended, because next weekend, or this coming up Saturday, it's of course the Cape Town Prawn Festival, which takes place on Saturday the 22nd of February, and a whole host of interesting races, including the Cape Derby and of course the Vasco's Prix de Cup.
Yeah, absolutely, and Vasco's do such a great job on the day as well. They've got a whole lot of guests there, and they make sure they enjoy it and the guests enjoy it. So that's always a big part of the day. The Prawn Fest is one of the most popular days there. I think it draws as big a crowd as the Queen's Plate. And new initiative with the Derby being on the same day. So fantastic racing once again, and while that's going to be completing the Cape season, we start off with the first leg of the Triple Crowns today here.
So it's good racing all around the country. Right, let's take a look at what you can look forward to on tonight's show.
Right, going through the show for today, and obviously catching up with Aventier and Pipple Mickelborough. And Fee went out to Aventier to catch up. They've had a great run of form, and obviously a lot of Vars winning, a lot of Aventier breds winning. And it's always nice to go catch up with Pippa. She'll also have a wonderful draft coming up for the National Yearling Sale. Next up on the show, we get an update on Ashley Parker's son of Galileo out at stud. He's called Global View, and I know he's one of the leading sires of 2-year-olds at the moment. He's had 3 wins from, I think, 4 runners. A real great start for his stallion career, and we find out a little bit more from Ashley Parker. And finally on the show, we chat to Adrian Todd, and obviously everyone's standing by for a little bit more update on the protocols and when the EU are going to be arriving in South Africa to chat and do the audit for us to be able to get our trading routes open once again. So that's a vital conversation that Fiona manages to have with Adrian Todd. So a busy show, and we look forward to that as well. And we also find out a little bit more about the Klavervlei Farm Sale Race Day that's coming up at the end of March.
Aventier Farm has had a great run of form of late, especially with their 2 resident stallions, Var and Oratorio. Fee catches up with Pippa and chats about their recent successes.
Aventier Stud have certainly kicked off 2020 to a flying start, and it's lovely to be here this morning with Pippa Mickelborough to have a bit of a catch-up. Pippa, morning. Thanks very much for having us.
Welcome back. Hope you had a good breakfast.
Absolutely fantastic, and it's lovely to see everybody gearing up for tonight. It's Valentine's Day, and they've all got their red on, and a big booking tonight.
Yeah, fully booked. Actually, fully booked for lunch, and then tonight. And the weather looks a little bit inclement, so we have some outside fires going to get that ambience beautiful for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I'm also seeing quite a lot of tasting opportunities and specials on the website, things going on all the time.
Yeah, I think, you know, the competition is tough, so we've got to continually think out the box. We've got a lovely pop pairing with the little cake pops at the moment that starts next week, I think, and that's always very successful. So yeah, lots of things on the go, and network breakfasts and business meetings, so yeah, busy time.
Well, the team certainly enjoyed a delicious breakfast this morning. Thank you very much. Beautiful, homegrown almost produce, absolutely fantastic. It was really tasty.
Good. Yeah, listen, we try and get, obviously organic is difficult to acquire all the time, but they're very selective where they buy their produce, and yeah, we don't serve it if we don't get it where we want, otherwise it's off the menu. Yeah.
But your year so far, Aventure Stud, has been phenomenal. Let's start from the sales, because you had a wonderful Cape Premier yearling sale. You sold well, and you must be chuffed with that.
Listen, I think let's not be naive about it. We're in tough times, but we had an exceptional draft of horses. They looked good. We had some wonderful support, and we had an exceptional sale. So don't want to, talk about it too much, because a lot of people didn't, and it's very tough out there. But we're going to stay positive. All I can do my side is keep producing the yearlings to the standard I like. I hope the children keep winning races, and we'll keep on going. It's what we do. So we'll ride it out and look forward to Joburg now.
Super season so far. I saw Delta Queen winning the other day. Now she's obviously by VAR, and then out of River Jettos from your farm, so that was pretty special for you.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it last year. We had two wonderful winners on that day. We had her, and then we had Tempting Fate, the master my fate for Dennis and his partners. Listen, as somebody said this morning to me, they were the two, for them, the standout horses of the sale. The colt was outstanding and the filly was superb. So to stand there in the winner's box, you feel quite sort of proud, but actually it was a no-brainer. They both could run. But let's hope they go on to do bigger and better things. We've obviously got both the young mares with us on the farm, and we're expecting good things. We've got a good relation to Delta Queen at Nationals, a colt by Silvano. So let's hope she runs in the nursery next week, and let's hope the pedigree continues to improve.
Yeah, apart from the sales, you've certainly been having some success on the track in many ways, because you've been having winners. Your two stallions are sitting in the top 8. They've been doing really well. Yeah,
I think VAR is currently leading side of 2-year-olds. He's got that really unbeaten filly in Johannesburg, Miracle Flight. Obviously Delta Queen. We've had lovely juvenile winners. We had Pray for Rain, the soft falling rain. But both VAR and Oratorio are really intrigued. I think VAR's been here, but Oratorio is at last, I think people have accepted he is who he is. He's not a 2-year-old sire. The fact that he was that successful the first year he arrived was just a little precursor of what's coming. But those that are now 3, 4 and 5 are now at last people showing what he can do. He's got Via Rio favourite for the Derby. He ran second to that super filly Summer Pudding in Johannesburg yesterday, Rio's Winter. So I think the Oratorio filly, Snap Scan's doing her stuff. So really I can't be proud of both of them, to be honest. Yeah.
And of course Oratorio also had the winner in Hong Kong just before Christmas as well.
Yeah, cue the music. So yes, and obviously that's very fortuitous, because we've got a full brother to cue the music for Nationals. His name is Ovation, the last foal of Manelli. So obviously the more he can do in Hong Kong, the better for the female line. But obviously that's the same field in Milano as Frankel, all that jazz, so it's a nice little complete circle.
And it's been a great season, because you've been winning the big ones. Vardy obviously won the Queen's Plate, which was really, really exciting. He had a great season, didn't he? And he's a bright future for that horse.
Yeah, obviously we didn't breed Vardy, but every vase feels like it's mine. And there's a little story behind him that everybody knows now, but he looks like an exceptional horse. I'm very delighted for those owners. They've been staunch supporters of VAR and our progeny. So although we didn't breed him, I feel a little bit connected to that team. I'm very happy for Adam, and he's nurtured that horse along the way. And let's hope for Durban now with Vardy. I think he was unlucky in the Met. I'm not saying he would have beaten One World, but would have been nice to have had a nice good old ding-dong battle with One World to see who come up trumps.
Yeah, I don't think things went to plan for Vardy, but he has, as you said, got the Durban season ahead for him. And what an exciting Met. You mentioned in SnapScan, SnapScan winning was fantastic, but your winning jockey, MJ winning Met, was quite special as well.
Yeah, obviously we would have liked to have won it with Vardy, but if I have to think who would have liked to win it instead, MJ, Vaughan, Ken, Etienne, and Brahm, they're wonderful supporters of this farm and the industry as a whole. So with MJ, listen, it was exceedingly emotional, because he'd been going through a bit of a tough time in the sort of past 3 months. Got off horses that he'd loved to have ridden. Things weren't going his way, why? And we had lots of discussions, motivation chats, had breakfast, give him a kick. And then he won the jackpot, then he got the lucky underpants, and then he wins the Met. So listen, I couldn't have been happy for him. We had a lovely lunch from the other day here. I'm very proud of him, and he's been with me for such a long time. Part of the family.
Yeah, he's on a great roll at the moment, but he deserves it. He works damn hard, I must say as well.
Well, obviously I'm not at Milnerton to see what he does, but ever since I've known MJ, they've always told me he's the hardest working jock. Every day he's there, putting the hours, always smiling, always cheerful, gets down, picks himself up, But yeah, he deserved I couldn't have been happy for him, and he's enjoying it because now suddenly knows what it's like to be famous. Because now he wants this interview and that interview. He's loving it, yeah. And he's a good guy.
Fantastic,
MJ is a good guy.
Fantastic. You really deserved it. Now, a little bit of a quiet time-ish for you on the farm. It's never quiet, but sort of just ticking over. But you've got the nationals now to look forward to, and you've got them in and getting them ready.
Well, it's actually crazy on the farm now, because now we're harvesting grapes. So we finished CTS. Now, February, March, April is grape harvesting time. So we're full tilt harvesting grapes. On the farm side, on the stud side, yes. All in for nationals, we've got 13 this stage I'm planning to take. Again, you know, year in and year out, this farm gives them really smart horses. There's a sprinkling of most of the top sires, and I'm happy with their progress so far. But we'll have you back and we'll go through them one by one. But obviously the standout must be the Silvano River Jatez and the full brother to Cue the Music. And then there's a Super Silvano colt and out of a very nice mare as well. So there's a little selection for everybody.
So a busy time ahead for you, but we'll come back and see you for the national draft. But thanks very much for having us this morning, Pippa.
Thanks for coming back, Fee.
Always lovely to be here at Aventure. The sun is shining, the horses are behind us. We had a magnificent breakfast. As I said, the Valentine spirit is in the restaurant, and we look forward to coming back to see Pippa's draft for the National Yearling Sale.
Global View, a multiple group winning stakes winning son of Galileo, stands at Ascot Stud and has had a promising start to his stud career. Ashley Parker gives us an update on Global View.
The Global View Syndicate stand Global View at Rose and Ashley Parker's Ascot Stud in Port Elizabeth. The son of Galileo has got off to a great start. He himself was joint second-rated American 2-year-old colt on the turf and has already produced 3 winners from 5 runners. Delicacia was a very impressive winner first time out. Global Drummer also won on first time of asking. He's a late foal, only born in November, but is a lovely horse with a beautiful action.
Global Drummer will win it comfortably, wins it by about 5 lengths.
Last Friday, 5U won after finishing third on debut. They all have great actions, and it is exciting that they have the speed for a son of Galileo. The speed may come from Global View being out of a Stormcat mare, so the same cross as English Guineas winners Glen Eagles and Churchill. An exciting start for this attractive dark bay stallion. Ascot Stud's Global View stands for a nomination of 5,000 Rand and for a live foal 15,000, and is worth every bit of that looking at his stats so far.
Always nice to find out about Ashley Parker's stallions. He's got a great record with stallions. You think of the likes of Al Mufti and even more recently Bold Silvano, giving him a host of Group 1 successes too. Next up, as we mentioned earlier on the show, Fiona is going to be chatting to Adrian Todd. We're very close now. The dates have been confirmed. The EU audit team will be here towards the end of April, and we look forward to some successful news there too. And we've also got a whole lot of guests coming up for the Asian Racing Conference, which isn't too far away. That starts on the 18th of February. But let's find out more from Adrian Todd. And this insert is brought to you by Global Logistics.
We certainly look to be getting closer with the import and export protocols here in South Africa. We haven't caught up with Adrian Todd for a while, so it's lovely to be able to chat to him this morning. And this insert is brought to you by Global Logistics. Morning, Adrian.
Morning, Fee. Always good to chat.
And we've got a bit of good news because obviously it's all been out in the press already, but we've finally got a date for the audit.
Yes, it's been a bit of a long road, and as I said from the very beginning, you know, we implemented all the systems and then we were involved in politics for quite some time. And that's the way the world works. But the EU, as everybody knows, late last year committed to audit us, and it's officially announced now that the audit will begin on the 20th of April.
That's really exciting. And as you said to me once before, getting involved this way with the EU is probably better in the long run that it's gone this way.
No, I think so. It's given us the time to make sure that everything is beyond reproach. The systems are in place. We've multiple times tested them, showcased them to the world, and we've been ready, and now we've got the audit, and it'll be a process after that, which we'll get into a bit later, but we're there. And now's the time where we just need everybody to push behind this, because we've never been this close. First it was, are our systems ready? Then it was, when's the EU going to come? Are they coming? Well, I can't give people any more solid, concrete information than this. It's officially announced that it's the 20th of April. They've sent that to our government. Our government has now dispersed that information officially to us, to the provincial directors, to the passport issuing authorities. They're all in receipt of letters from Department of Agriculture notifying them that these are the dates.
Well, you've worked so hard on this over a long period of time, and it's good because you're going in with lots of confidence. There's no reason why it all can't go swimmingly, really.
Oh, we're very confident, Fee.
Yeah, fantastic. And we've got the Asian Racing Conference coming to South Africa the end of this month, and that's really exciting because we can showcase our country, our racing, and you're getting involved with that as well.
I think it's a great opportunity for South Africa that's come at a really good time. And I know a lot of people have been very, very interested in what's happening with the export protocols. The Asian Racing Conference has asked us to do a presentation there. And we've discussed this with them and negotiated, and it's been agreed, and that's what I'm happy to announce today, that this is going to be the session on Friday at 3 o'clock, Friday the 21st of April, and that session is going to be open to the South African public. So I would really like as many of the breeders and owners and trainers and racing people in general to come to that session, because it gives us an opportunity to show everybody exactly where South Africa's at with the export drive, what the strategy is now that we've got a secured date, and how does that lead from today to when we expect that first plane to take off.
Yeah, that's going to be a really interesting session because, as you said, if you get all the breeders and everyone there, listening to everyone's views, it's going to be really interesting.
No, I think it's going to be able to let people know exactly what the timeline is and what the steps are from here.
So now you're pretty much all prepared for the audit. Not much else you can do apart from, as you said, you've got the Asian Racing Conference coming up. But
I don't know about that, Fee. There's checks and rechecks.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a long time coming. We're ready, but we're making sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And the audit, is it sort of quite a process? It's going to go on for a week or so?
It is quite a process. They're planning to be here from the 20th of April to the 1st of May. And then after the audit, there's a process which we'll go into the details of in our presentation next week, but there's a process of reports, committee approvals, but we know the process and we're confident that we'll be able to navigate those waters.
Perfect. So it's all systems go now. You must be feeling quite relieved that you've got the audit and things are coming to hand, sort of thing.
No, I'm very pleased. You know, we've had a great team. There's been very good. The people that have supported us, especially financially, have been solid. I have to thank them, and when we get to the final thing, they're going to know that it's, you know, their tenacity, their sticking in there that allowed us to get through this stage.
Yeah, well, we'll look forward to seeing you at the Asian Racing Conference, but let's hope that we've got a really, really exciting celebratory interview with you after the audit.
I'm sure we will, Fee.
Best of luck, Adrian. You've done a smashing job, and all systems go.
Thanks a lot.
Always great to have an update from Adrian Todd. As I said, it is all systems go. Real great excitement brewing as we've got the audit, and Adrian will be having his session at the Asian Racing Conference. And this insert was brought to you by Global Logistics, and we wish Adrian all the best of luck in the coming couple of months.
Well, that's a wrap from our show. Great to be here out at Turfentine for the first leg of the Triple Crown and the Triple Tiara. And obviously always some excitement about this series of events. And we've had some big winners coming out of it. And a couple of recent years, we've had a couple of horses that have gone on to actually score and get the Triple Crown.
Very much so, Grant. Certainly looking forward to the result. And as always, the first leg of the Triple Crown kind of sets the standard for what we can look forward to for the rest of the season. So certainly looking forward to that. So for myself, Julie Alexander, Grant Knowles, the rest of the Breeding to Win team, from us, it's good night.